Well, I went and did it, guys. Bought myself a turntable, cartridge, and a preamp, which is hiding in the back. Why? Mr. Fuck vinyl, not wearing the t-shirt tonight because it's actually still in the laundry. But I will keep wearing the t-shirt. Yeah, man, I took the plunge. Slowly buying back a lot of the vinyl that I sold 6 years ago, and yeah, it ain't cheap. This is definitely a rich man's sport, and I ain't that rich, so I'm kind of being careful what I want, what I don't want, what I can live with, what I can live without. And yeah, I went on a bit of a spending spree, but hey, my wife said I could buy all this, so that's the main thing. Pay all the bills first, and then I can fuck around buying all this stuff. And the other thing too is this video is also a shout out to the late Tim Paravacini, because he designed the preamp that this thing is connected to, another MoFi product, and it's just wonderful. I mean, I've got an Ortofon Quintet black moving coil cartridge, the Studiodeck turntable, the Studiophono. It's the one without the headphone amp built in, because I don't need it because I got the electrostatic down there. And yeah, I mean, it's so dead. I've never had a vinyl system like this. You gotta understand, I went from a dual CS 515 that I had since I was a kid to this, and that had a Grado Red cartridge on it. And I said to myself, save up some money, do it right, or don't do it at all. I didn't go for the big package, which is the full mobile fidelity, the Ultra Deck with the Ultra Tracker and all that stuff, because I don't like when people dictate, or companies dictate, here's the package, this is all you need. No, I wanted a little bit of my own thing in there, and the price was right. I mean, Music Direct, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. The whole MoFi bullshit that happened a couple of months ago in the summer there, I said it before and I'll keep saying it again. This, 9 times out of 10, is going to sound equal or better than this, right? To those who think that this will always be better than this, they can kiss my brown Canadian ass. I mean, I bought some brand new LPs, 180 gram pressings, 150 gram standard pressing, and with the Shibata stylus on this, I don't even know there's intergroove distortion. Now I kind of wish I had some of my old LPs just to kind of say, okay, the Ortofon OM10, which was a piece of shit back in the 80s, still a piece of shit in the fucking 2020s. It couldn't track intergrooves to save its fucking life, and it was very heavy in the mid-range. I mentioned this crap before in previous videos. The Grado Red was a pretty damn good tracker, had a decent sound to it, but nothing close to this. I'm going to do another video after this one where I did a couple of comparisons, and I was really, really shocked. I mean, how quiet this preamp is. It's like usually on some of the lesser stuff I've had before, my Adcom 345 moving magnet phono preamp, when I was using my Denon receivers moving magnet phono preamp for a while there, there's always a little bit of hiss. There's a little bit of the surface noise is really, this thing is so dead silent. I swear I'm listening to a compact disc or an SACD, dare I say it, right? Because I put the stylus down on the run-in grooves, and is it on? All of a sudden the music just starts up. And again, I've never had a moving coil cartridge, so I'm assuming this is the way it is. The one thing I am going to be doing, going probably this week, is I found a moving coil circuit with no transformers, just a couple of op amps and a few resistors and caps and things like that I want to slap together, because this guy's series impedance is about 20 ohms, and the MoFi only goes down to about 70 ohms, I believe, and 70 or 75. Anyway, it sounds great, but I want to see if I can build a phono preamp that can basically match or come close to what Mr. Paravacini did. And and the reason why Pulse is sitting here is you guys really got to look up this man. He's got some excellent videos out there. He's done a lot of both professional like PA work and obviously studio work. It was his tape recorder modifications that recorded this album back in '94 when they were touring, and I saw that tour in Toronto. Again, that's why I got the Jays hat on at Exhibition Stadium. And even though this was Earl's Court in London, both when I had the box from 27 years ago and this, the sound quality is the same. There's no difference. The packaging, everything's identical, without the fucking flashing LED, which I never bought the CD. So to this day, I've never heard what the CD sounds like. I have the cassette version of this, which has the half an hour of just noise sound effects, which was part of the opening act, so to speak. And only the cassette has that, and I actually ripped it to WAV files. But this, compared to what I had before, just a huge difference. Very open. I mean, where I didn't lose anything in the bass, which was my one fear, was I'll have all this clarity in the mid-range and the treble, but I'm going to lose my bass? No, hell no. I was just listening to side 3, and yeah, it'll still shake this room if I crank it up loud enough, but it's almost close to midnight, and yeah, they're all sleeping right now anyways. So that's my first impression. I've been running this thing all weekend. One thing you guys will laugh your ass off is my rack width when I built this thing is about 19 inches, and your standard stereo equipment is 17 and a little bit, right? 19 obviously if you got rack ears, right? Well, I purposely did this and this to hide any of the nasties when I built the cabinet that nobody can see. Well, this wouldn't fit, fuck me. So what I did when I received everything from Music Direct Friday, and the cock tease was the UPS truck shows up at around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He stops 5 minutes, then he takes off. And he just went like just across the road there, and he stopped his truck again. And I see him coming out with some packages. Hey dude, address back here. Yeah, last name Goswami. Oh. Yeah, I don't know if your stuff's in my truck or not. I can't find it, so I'm gonna have to do my deliveries, and then hopefully I'll find it in the truck, and then I'll come back, or somebody else has it in another truck. And I'm like this little kid that, Christmas time and wants his shit and all this, right? So fast forward a couple of hours later, and I think at around 6:30 in the evening, truck shows up again. It's the same dude. He says, yeah, man, I found your stuff. Sorry about it. I said, nah, it's okay. It's all good. And I started setting everything up, and that's when I realized that that wouldn't fit. So I had to cut a big, huge, about a 3/4 inch high groove. It was about 1/4 of an inch deep. But because I used plywood, it was pretty easy to kind of saw and then chip the wood away. And you guys can't see the nastiness again because I painted it all black. And it fits like a glove. Yeah, it is kind of a tight sandwich in here, and it is hitting both surfaces, but that's okay. Main thing is it's level, right? And the heat from the tube preamp, it's not even getting anywhere near to this guy. And the Delrin, the other cool thing with this turntable is the Delrin platter, you don't need a mat for it. And okay. You don't need a mat for it, basically because it's similar to material that LPs are made out of. All you have to do is I have this thing here, I love this. I did invest in a mobile fidelity record brush with mobile fidelity juice to clean any kind of grungy LPs with. But this thing on new LPs, 4 passes and it's done. What's it? The in the groove there, not to be confused with the in groove here in Phoenix. I got a story about that too. I'm going to tell you guys. So I go down to the in groove, and Mike's there behind the counter and all this, and shooting the shit with him. I ordered the Analog Productions kind of blue, the clarity vinyl and all that stuff, and yeah, it's up there with the SACD from 20 years ago. It's probably a little, the sound is a little different, but not in a bad way. But anyways, getting back to the in groove. So Mike sees me, and I says, Mike, do you remember when he says, yeah, you're the guy that came in on Record Store Day 6 years ago. I said, yeah, you had some really cool stuff in there, because I had Pink Floyd's Pulse, even though he said the box was a little tattered, but he just got rid of it. And he even told me, he said, there's no difference between the new version and the old version other than the price goes up for the old one because of age, right? And that's fine. But he said everything else, my Tarkus and Trilogy, Mobile Fidelity, Sound Lab stuff, the 200 gram LPs, those he got rid of very quickly back then. My Wish You Were Here, which was a CBS Master Sound disc, that also went really quickly, and that's not one that I'm gonna really chase after. Honestly, with the Pink Floyd stuff, I prefer it on SACD and some of the CD remixes over their LP counterparts. I've never liked Dark Side of the Moon on LP, I'll be honest with you. When the SACD came out 20 years ago, or 19 years ago, whatever it was, the 5.1 mix, I like it better than the 2-channel mix. I find the 2-channel mix, it's still too compressed. When the loud bits happen, it just gets, and it's no fault of Gus Guinness, because he's fucking awesome as a mastering engineer, DSD guru and all that stuff. But the tapes you're given are the tapes you're given, right? And that's another thing. I mentioned this in my MoFi rant there, that who gives a fuck if it's digital or it's analog tape? I mean, seriously, most of the stuff you're listening to on vinyl at one point in its life was transferred to digital because they had to save the tape, and the only way to save the tape is make a digital backup copy of it, right? And I don't, what else can I tell you guys? I bought a record player, bought a cartridge, bought a preamp. Again, I'm happier than a pig in shit. And the other thing that kind of spawned this purchase, I recently screwed up my 1 terabyte hard drive that I had for many, many years. It had all my PCM stuff on it that I had borrowed from the library and ripped, and borrowed from friends and ripped, and other questionable means that I'd ripped. A lot of the crap that was on there was MP3s, 320 mostly, but there was some 128 crap on there. But I had a lot of lossless WAV files. Well, I fucked up the hard drive by plugging it into a USB hub that was not working very well, and oops. So store that I deal with, computer repair shop, he said, no man, your drive's toast. He says something probably got happened. The drive itself is in one piece, but whatever the USB driver, it's hosed. Anyhow, so then I thought, oh fuck, there's a lot of cool stuff on there. Now it's gone forever, but most of it's on streaming, which again is going to be the next video. But I wanted to get some titles, mostly jazz stuff. I'm going to get some rock stuff on vinyl, but not that much, I'll be honest with you. The Who's Next, I'm not going to do it, because the only vinyl that I liked is the original pressing that I heard over at a friend's place last summer. He had the original UK pressing, and that thing was fucking awesome. When I had the half-speed mastered MCA, I don't know, what was it, Master Sound or whatever their disc system they called it back then. That's awesome. And I played my PCM file that I did, many years ago, and yeah, it still kicks the CD. And I don't think the new LPs are just going to muddy it right up. So that's a purchase that's not going to happen. And that's what I'm saying about the rock titles. It's very hit or miss. What else, guys? Yeah, like I said, fuck vinyl, and bought a turntable. What else can I tell you guys? Kudos to the folks at Music Direct. They gave me a really, really good deal on everything. I asked a bunch of questions. They answered my questions, as best as they could, and they know what they're doing. And they set up the cartridge for free, right? They did the VTA, they did the cartridge, the tone arm height, they did all that for me. The only thing I had to do was the anti-skating, which is that fucking little string and the rubber. Trick to that is, if anybody buys one of these, whether it's this or the Ultra Deck, just get a pair of tweezers and that little rubber ring, very carefully slip it onto whichever notch it's supposed to be based on the cartridge weight. Worked like a charm. And they did an awesome job. And I'm going to put some links in this video for Music Direct, the purchase price of this stuff, Tim DeParavicini's videos that are online, and the dude's awesome. He's one of those engineers where if you question what he's doing in the middle of a lecture, be prepared to have your ass handed to you. Which was kind of cool to watch, because a lot of times when I'm around people that are a lot smarter than I am, I tend to keep my mouth shut, and my ADHD ways, I just kind of put them off to the side and just kind of listen. But when I'm with people that I'm not really interested in the conversation, again, the ADHD hits again, and it's like I'll start interrupting them, which can get annoying, but hey. So anyhow, guys, that's the video. I'm having some fun. I'm not spending a fortune on this stuff, And yeah, like I said, I'm not going to turn this channel into another one of those vinyl review thingies, because that's just bullshit. I'm going to put some vinyl stuff out there, opinions and things like that, but I'm going to keep on going with any DIY stuff I come up with. I want to do some more 5.1 surround music only videos. So yeah, there's enough vinyl channels out there. I'm not going to fucking clog the airways by making another one, Thanks again, guys, and like and subscribe, and yeah, fuck vinyl. Fucking A, boys and girls. Thanks again for watching. Have a good week. Bye.